Magandang araw. Ako si Kuya Code. Today I'll be explaining text alignment with strings in Python with the matching Hackerrank problem. In general, strings are able to be formatted to a very specific width, and if you don't have, if your character length is under that width, it'll just fill in the gaps with whatever you know character you want. The default is an empty space. So let me just go to my IDE here. We'll start with something simple. So name equals, we'll just say Python. So if we print name, we simply get Python. But what I'll do, instead I'll do a format. I'll do it like this. This will be name, but I'll put some square brackets on either side of the name. So now you have Python with the square brackets on either side. So obviously the string length is 6, but what if I wanted to format a little bit? Then what I would do is I could do, let's see here, left result equals name dot ljust, which is justify left, and fill character is an empty space or just a space, and the first parameter is the width. So let's see here. Maybe I want it 10, um, and I can just leave the fill character for the default empty space. So I'll put 10. We'll close that, and now instead of doing name, we can do result. We'll close this so I can reopen it. And now the width is exactly 10 characters, and then it just fills in the gaps with with just spaces basically. But you could just fill it with, an asterisk or whatever character you want, really. Oops. Um, Wait, what was that message? I believe I need to put in the quotes. So now when I run it, it's still going to do 10, but instead of having an empty space, it's just going to have a star instead. So that was for left. We'll just copy and paste this. Actually, I'll just put that back to the default for now. We'll just do right and center. This will just be R justify, and this will just be center. So we can copy and paste this as well. So we have left, we have right, we have center. Let's go ahead and run that. And now, of course, this is the characters or the text on the left. This is the text on the right, and this is the text in the center. And funny enough, this is the default uh, text within the IDE itself. And it looks like this was justified in the center, and then you can just have an equals on the left and right to fill in the gaps. So it's kind of similar. So we can actually do that ourselves as well. So let me just, I'll just comment those out so they don't show up anymore. And then I could do, let's see here, print. We'll just have welcome. We'll justify it center. We'll make it 30 width, and we'll fill it with just like a dash. And so that'll be welcome. And then what we can also do is make another one. Python tutorial. Um, dot center, and we'll do the same thing, 30 with the dash. Let's go ahead and see what that gives us. It was never closed. Okay. Now what was never closed? I did it for both of them. Okay. So now we have, of course, we have the welcome, we have the Python tutorial, and then that looks good. So let's actually just do it like this instead. And actually, what I could do is just something else you could do. You could technically still do it with an empty one, so you can do it empty center, and then 30, and then the dash like that. So that's just the same thing, but it'll just be empty instead. So it's just the entire thing, it's just dashes instead. So that's kind of for like a title or something. And now what else can we do? This is actually good for making, charts and stuff like that. So let me just see here, print. We can do just a dash. we could just do times 25, but it'll just print 25 dashes. So it's kind of the same thing as doing it like this, but like if the whole thing is dashes anyways, it doesn't really matter if it's to the left, the right, or the center. So you technically could just skip over this, format by just doing it like that instead, which you'll see. So on the next line, we'll do print, and we will have, let's see here, name. That'll be left justify by maybe like 15. And then we'll do score. That could be also left justify by like 6. And I'll just put an extra one there. Let's see what we get with that. So now we have this, and we have the name, and then we have the score, like that. Perfect. So that's for kind of like the column names, and I will put this down here, and now we'll fill in the data itself. So we can do print, let's see, a name, Marcos. That'll be left justify also by 15. You want to make sure that they're actually this matching the actual title itself or the column name itself. So that'll be 15, and we'll just put like these bars here so we can separate it. We should actually probably put one there as well. So we'll do that, and then let's say the score was, I don't know, like 95 or something. Got 95. That'll be also let's justify. We'll do it by 8. We'll do another one of these. And something else that we could do is this right here. Oops. Oh, now it's gone. It showed it, but basically it gives you the optional parameters for print. So there's one called separator. So because I'm putting a comma between all of these parameters for the print, it's going to by default put a space between each parameter. So you could just change that to something else. So we'll just do this so there's no space in between it. So let's just see what that looks like now. Right, so now we have the name, and then we have the score. This stuff is aligned, and we could just copy and paste and just make a bunch of names with a bunch of different scores. So we'll just do, I don't know, Mary 99, Gracie 88, and Princess. Sorry, Princess, you only got 65. Go ahead and run that. And now you can see all the different scores for all the names. So that's just with left justify. We could also do the same thing with right justify, of course, or maybe we want to have only one of them right justified and then one of them left justified. So I'm going to comment these out just so that doesn't take up as much space, at least in terms of the print. We'll still grab this to use as a template to use the same. I'll also do that so we can see it better. So instead of name, we could do item, left justify 15, price, that'll be right justify. So that, and then for this, we could do, let's say we want apple, and then, I don't know, banana or something. And obviously we need a price in this case, so let's just say these are $1.20, or I suppose you could do, I don't know what that would be, like expensive PHP. And maybe these will be like $30 PHP for Filipino pesos. And then this will be right justify instead. Okay, that looks okay. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So now, of course, the item name is left justified, and this price is right justified. So That's good for that. But here's the cool part, something else that we could do. Let's say we want to um, have some data. So data equals, we'll just kind of copy the one from the names again. So data will have a dictionary, or I guess it could be tuples. So for the first one, we could have Marcos. I'll just do this. Mary, Gracie, Princess. The score is 95, 99, 88, 65. I will hide these. So we could just, print data just to see what that looks like. It just simply puts exactly what we have. Uh, so that's the data that we have, but what we're going to do instead is print. Suppose we'll just grab this. But instead of printing out each one of these manually, we can just loop through or iterate through the actual data itself. So for name and score in data, well, what are we going to do for each one? Let's just copy this. But instead of printing Marcos, delete that, comma, name dot justify 15, and then this will be, convert that to a string, score dot write justify 8. I believe that should be good. Well, actually, because we have this here, we'll make this 14 because that already counts as one. So what happens if we print that out? See, now it prints out every single one. So of course, if you have a giant list, you'll be able to print out everything in the list, and it's all straight and organized. Um, so now let's jump into the actual Hackerrank challenge. So this is the same kind of idea. We have to figure out whether we should put left, right, or center for the justification. We have the letter, where is it? We have a bunch of letter H's, and the code is already here that shows this this pattern, but it's justified left, right, or center depending on what you want. So we'll just see. We'll just put center for each, just so we can kind of see an example. Um, Center. So a lot of these. Let's just run that and see what we get right off the bat. So obviously this looks very bad because this is not what the pattern should be. But the inside looks pretty good, but the outside, or the top part and the bottom part, is obviously wrong. So let's see here. For this first one, this one should be, let me just kind of take a look at the pattern here. The top cone. We can do our right justify for that, left justify for that. Let's run it again, see what we get. Okay, so that looks pretty good. But now we need to do this part here, which that's for the bottom cone. Let's just try the same thing and see what we get. So right just. How many are there? There's 3 of these. We'll just do right justification for all of those and see what the result is. Oh, so that's okay, I see. So this side is right justified, which makes sense. Because it basically starts from the right, but this side should be the opposite. So let's go ahead and make that one left justified instead. All right, so that actually worked out. So yeah, most of this was already done because this entire section is already center. But then you just have to figure out this cone, which side is left and which side is right, if any. So let's go ahead and submit that. And oh, looks like it all worked. All the cases passed with what we have. Cool, we got our 4-star. So that's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more Coiling challenges. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or concerns or suggestions of future videos. See you next time on Kuya Code. Paalam.